Okay. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, here.
What?
Can you turn the TV off?
Oh my god.
Sorry. It's distracting.
Whose podcast is?
Thanks, man. Oh. I'm excited. This is exciting. They're all recording. All the cameras are recording.
Yep.
I wonder what number of episode this is. This 14, I think.
Wow.
Wow.
So this is the first. This is the first one with the room.
Yeah. This is the first one in the podcast room. Slowly coming together. Starting to get my art up. That's kind of the boxing corner. And then we're going to put up some more cool stuff. Like some
More knickknacks on the table.
There's a big Pink Floyd poster. The wall poster. This is the table our friend Corey Gansky made for us. And he worked pretty hard on it.
Beard and Timber.
Beard and Timber. Shout out to Beard and Timber. This is super exciting. So I think we're going to talk about kind of the gun laws that they're trying to pass in Canada, or the law. Is it one law or multiple laws?
I don't know. It sounds like there's two. So they have like the main ban, and then they have these things called OIC or IOCs, and those are like additions to the ban. So it's like they keep adding more firearms.
Mm-hmm.
So like as the law states it right now, if your muzzle or your barrel is bigger than 20 millimeters, then it's a prohibited firearm.
20 millimeters.
Yeah.
So is that like a 22?
No.
What's a 22?
22 is 22 caliber.
Okay.
So that's like the imperial.
Okay. How many millimeters would like a 22 be? Do you know?
Like 4,
Okay.
5 maybe. I don't know. I could look it up.
But all of your guns, right?
No. All my guns are safe except for... So because of the 20 millimeter thing... So there's 3 different classes of firearm already in Canada. There's non-restricted, which includes like you can go hunting. You can just take that gun, go out in the woods with it.
Yeah.
Then there's restricted, which is handguns, ARs, rifles that are under a certain length, and then certain calibers for some reason. So like a lot of like super antique handguns fall into that.
Yeah.
Just because
for restricted.
Restricted.
Yeah.
And those ones you are only allowed to shoot at a range.
Yeah.
Nowhere else. And you're only allowed to take it from your house to the range and back. No gas station, no stops of any kind. And then there's prohibited, which is firearms that you're like not allowed.
AK-47.
AK-47's prohibited.
Rocket launcher.
No, rocket launchers were non-restricted up until recently.
Really?
Yeah, you're allowed to have the launcher because the launcher doesn't do anything. The grenades are prohibited. You're not allowed to have grenades.
So you could have an RPG?
You can have an RPG.
Just not the grenade that it shoots.
You used to be able to have an RPG. This new ban makes RPGs prohibited.
Wait, so...
The launcher.
So, like, last year you could have an RPG.
You can have an RPG.
With the grenade.
With the dummy grenade.
Whoa.
So you can get a training grenade, and you
cool.
actually put an SKS bullet in the big, like you shove it in the tube.
Okay.
So you put an SKS bullet in it, and it's got a little hole at the end of the grenade.
And it would be strong enough to shoot it?
Yeah, it's just a little hammer, and it hits a little pin.
Yeah.
And instead of it setting off a rocket, it shoots like this.
Oh, it shoots that bullet.
It shoots this.
Shoots a bullet?
Shoots a bullet.
Okay.
So it's a big giant housing for a single bullet. And once you shoot it, like it's only a single shot.
Yeah.
So you put the one in, load it into the rocket launcher, get all set up, and then
Oh, but it doesn't shoot like a fake grenade.
No, it just shoots this. That's it. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it's still cool.
Like, you could have that hanging on your wall in your living room.
I would do
Freaking
that.
rocket launcher.
But you can't, so definitely can't now.
Now
if the law passes.
If it passes. So right now, so all grenade launchers. So there's an SKS that the Yugoslavians made, and the end of the muzzle is made for like an old school, like muzzle launched grenade.
Yeah.
So you click the grenade on, and then you turn the little valve so that it doesn't recycle the gas. It sends all the gas out to help launch the grenade better. But because the thing on the end is a grenade launcher, that rifle is now prohibited.
Okay.
Which doesn't make you can't get the grenades.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that kills people is the grenade.
So the grenade
and
was
you're not
already
allowed to have
prohibited.
those. Yeah.
So, but now the whole gun.
Now the whole gun is illegal. But
prohibited.
all the other SKSs, which are all manufactured almost exactly the same, they're all fine.
But they just can't have the capability. They don't have the capabilities to shoot the grenade.
Yeah, they don't have. It's literally like
It's
a muzzle
muzzle.
device. Like it just.
Okay.
It's like forged onto the end.
Um.
So prohibited. So there's the 3 non-restricted hunting guns, restricted, which is basically handguns.
Yeah.
And then prohibited, which is like machine guns.
Yeah. Uzi.
Like, yeah, Uzis, anything that shoots full auto.
Yeah.
Like.
But see, I thought you could have a full auto gun in Canada, but it can only shoot 5 bullets.
No.
Or
You're
something.
not allowed to have full auto at all.
Oh, okay.
You're not even allowed to have one that used to be able to be full auto. So, like, some of these guys have taken, like, in Czechoslovakia, they have this gun that looks like an AK-47, but you can't mix the parts at all. I think you can use the magazines, but that's it.
Yeah.
And they had 2 different variants. They made one that was only ever semi-automatic, and then they had ones that were full auto, and then they stripped them down to nothing, rebuilt it as a semi-auto.
Yeah.
And, like, you can't change it. Like, you'd have to manufacture the parts and then strip it down and put it back together to make it full auto.
It'd be the same as, like, building a full auto.
Yeah. Those are prohibited.
Oh.
Since since a while ago.
Just because they were originally
Just because
built.
it was because it was at one point a full auto, but now, and it can't be made a full auto again unless you like manufacture the part. In which case, like, you could just build a full auto.
You could just build or turn a legal semi-auto into be the same.
Yeah, like there'd be a way easier way to do it, but because of that, they've made it illegal. And fully automatic guns like the AK-47 have been illegal in Canada since 1977.
Oh, so before 1977, you could have a full auto?
Yep.
In Canada? You could have an AK-47 in Canada.
You could have an AK-47 legally.
And you could shoot it.
You still needed I think you still needed a license and stuff. It's way before my time, so I'm not, I don't fully know it. But, and then there was a grandfather period where you were able, like, if Grandpa had an AK and he's dying, he can transfer it to you.
Oh, okay.
But those ones, I think...
Literally grandfathering.
You weren't allowed to use it. You were allowed to
you could have it. You could have it.
That's it.
Not shoot it or anything.
Yeah.
We should give some more context on, like... So when did this happen? So we had... I think it's the worst shooting in Canadian history.
I think so, yeah. I can't think of a worse
I think it could be the worst shooting in Canadian history in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and like it was handled really poorly. Like they didn't use the red alert system. What's it called?
The Amber Alert.
Amber
or
Alert.
something.
Yeah, they didn't use that at all.
But anyways, like something like 23 people or something, 26 people killed.
Were killed, yeah.
And so now our Prime Minister Trudeau has kind of bypassed
the
Congress, Senate, or whatever it is.
The democratic process.
The democratic process, and has shoved this, they shoved it through and has made all of these guns illegal.
Yeah, prohibited. So
prohibited.
Yeah, they've all been classified as prohibited, and
And so is it's not the same. Is this the same as what they did in Australia in the past? Pretty much.
not yet. In Australia, what they did was they banned it, and then they called it a mandatory buyback program. So they said, we'll give you money for your guns,
Yeah.
but it's not an option. You have to do it.
Okay, but they're doing that here too. The mandatory.
They haven't
buyback.
said yet. They haven't said
Okay.
what they're going to do. So there's like, what they've done before is they've prohibited rifles before,
Yeah.
and then they give you a little clause on your license saying that you have a non-restricted license. So you can have your non-restricted and your restricted, and then you have a clause saying that you're allowed to own this prohibited rifle. And that's it.
Okay.
So then, and then sometimes, so it depends, like you might be able to just own it and that's it, or you might,
Yeah.
or it might be like you're allowed to own it and you're allowed to take it to the range, but if you want to take a prohibited firearm to a range, you have to call the RCMP or the CFO, the Chief Firearms Officer, sit on hold for however long it takes for them to answer the phone. It's a government agency, so it's, you know, it can take forever or it can take 5 minutes. You have to tell them what you want to do, and then they send you the paperwork saying that it's okay for you to do it, and then you have to keep that paperwork with your rifle, and it has to be all different kinds of locked up. Like the gun has to be locked, has to be in a case that's locked, in a car that's locked.
So you can have the gun still?
Well,
I'm
they haven't
confused.
said. They haven't said yet.
Oh, okay.
But they've done it
Okay.
before where you're allowed to have it and
You're allowed
go
to have
shooting.
a prohibited gun,
Yeah.
but it has to be a so it'd be as if it's a restricted.
It would be
gun?
as if it's restricted.
Okay.
But if you want to shoot it, if they let you shoot it, you have to phone in, tell them you're going to shoot it, how long it's going to take, and all this stuff. Then you can go and come back and basically treat it as restricted.
Wow.
Which doesn't make sense. Because if it has to do with safety and you don't want these guns around, then you just ban it, make it illegal.
Yeah. So like, I'm thinking this is just like a political stunt, and in the end, the law won't change. I don't think it might change slightly.
Yeah,
but I don't think.
I think
it's just a stunt to try to keep because all the people who kind of like Trudeau are the same people who don't like guns. So he's really trying to make a statement.
Yeah.
And how many guns do you have?
10.
And how many would be banned from this?
So far?
Yeah.
3.
Only 3?
Yeah. Well, they keep changing it.
Yeah. Okay. They're still adding guns to the list.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep adding more. So they did something, and now there's like some, like this double barrel, like super basic double barrel shotgun now falls under the list.
Yeah.
People are pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what it boils down to is it has nothing to do with firearms or firearm safety.
What's
it's just about votes.
Yeah. Like,
Because if it was because one of the crazy things is that this ban, like, okay, they banned all these guns.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're Native American.
Yeah.
If you're Native American, you're allowed to have it all. Which is like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why? If it's about gun safety,
if it's
and
about safety,
public safety, it feels like it's
they're
like,
probably
okay,
scared
we
of
don't
being
want to
called
offend
racist.
the Native Americans.
Yeah, that's what
like
it is.
saying nobody's allowed to drive cars except for old people.
Yeah,
because old people are gonna get really upset if we don't let them drive.
Yeah.
But they're like
scared.
the worst.
See, so I think it might be a combination of like, I think a lot of like Native American reserves are self-governed, so they couldn't even enforce it if they tried.
Yeah.
And then another part of it is how Trudeau's like extreme left or more to the left, so he not only do his voters not like guns, but they're also like
super sensitive
to making sure everybody they're super sensitive to something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
If they said they banned all guns, including Native American guns, then then somehow they would be more white people would be upset. I don't know.
But I mean, I don't think that's a good idea, because then you're telling all the criminals that's where the guns are.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the fancy guns, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bad idea. And then another idea is like centralized storage, where it's like, okay, well, if you want to go shooting, you go to this place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big gun safe.
Yeah.
You pick up your gun from there, and then you go shooting.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good idea either, because then you're literally putting all of your eggs in one basket. Yeah. You're putting all of your metaphorical eggs in one metaphorical basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, I'm sure they'll make it like, 2 foot thick concrete wall or whatever. Or maybe they won't. Like maybe it'll just be like a sea can, and it's just a bad idea. It's a bad idea to do that. Plus it's not cool. If you buy something, you want to take it home. It's like, if you want to buy anything, a cup.
Yeah.
You want to have your cup readily available in case you want to drink water. If you buy a gun, you want it to be readily available because you like guns.
Yeah.
You want your gun. You like guns.
Yeah. Yeah, you bought it.
Yes. You want to look at it.
Yeah.
At the very least.
See, like, so I sort of, like, I understand the idea behind it and stuff, that we want less shootings.
Yeah.
So, like, superficially, it makes sense. Like, superficially, it's like, we don't want a shooting again, let's ban guns. But then when you dig into it, you start seeing that, like, in this shooting, all the guns were illegally
there was 4
got anyways.
Yeah, 4 firearms involved in that shooting.
Yeah.
First off, the guy did not have a firearms license.
Yeah.
And I believe he was put on a list saying that he is not allowed to have a firearms license due to some sort of altercation he had in the past.
So the system in place
there,
was already preventing him from getting a gun.
He couldn't buy a gun.
Can't get a gun.
So law worked. Boom.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to have a gun.
Yeah.
So he went around the law.
Mm-hmm.
He acquired 3 firearms illegally.
Yeah. And I think
I don't know how many he got from the States, but at least one was from the States. I don't know if all 3 of them were or not. And then one he acquired from shooting a police officer. So I don't know what. Yeah, like I don't know how many more laws you need to put in place to prevent someone from shooting a police officer. Yeah. But I think if you're standing there with the gun already, I don't think more laws are gonna make you stop pulling the trigger. Yeah. Like, I don't think when he was going through his head, he was like, oh no, I'm breaking so many laws right now. I'm gonna be in so much trouble. He was already committed. Yeah. He was already. Yeah, he's an insane person. He killed 20-something people. Yeah. It doesn't matter how many laws he got. It'd be interesting to see if he couldn't have gotten a gun if he was just gonna go around and stab people. Yeah. Or like just drive over people. Like, would have killed less
people for sure doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was like a major. It's like, he was gonna find a way to cause chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was like the way he did it. But like, so legal gun owners are the ones who are kind of screwed over by this.
Yeah.
But I like understand it, like, because, people were killed and stuff like that. So I still understand it. But yeah, maybe the real way to fix it would be to see, and that's the thing too, is if Justin Trudeau said, like, really looked deep into it and did the real things to prevent this again, it wouldn't seem like it. People would be like, oh, that's bullshit. He's not doing enough. Like the people who vote for him. If he said, okay, we're going to lock down the border and we're going to tighten down the border to try to find more guns that are illegally crossing the border.
Yeah.
That would be one of the things that would help a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to like do, I don't know, like a police officer's gun. I don't know if this is just science fiction, but like having it so has like a fingerprint thing.
I think they
so if somebody did kill a police officer, they couldn't even use the gun or something weird like that.
Chopping,
I don't know, something like so. I don't know if that's kind of like too complicated, but if those things were real, then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, yeah, and I think they also do need to do some, because guns are stolen. in Canada from legal firearm owners.
So that could have happened too. Like he could have went busted. Like if he knew. So if those.
Well, he probably had a friend or something, or knew somebody who broke down the door to some guy's house.
So even with like a whole bunch of this stuff in place, this may have happened still.
Yeah.
Like he may have, like, even if this law was in place.
Yeah.
And he knew somebody, his neighbor next door had some guns, he might break in, stab him.
Yeah.
Steal a gun and then do this anyways.
Yeah. I mean, if you killed 23 people, you're pretty set on killing people. It wouldn't be too much if your first stop was stabbing somebody that you knew had a gun.
Yeah.
And now you've got the
his gun.
So yeah, that's one thing that maybe they could be a little tougher on is firearm storage.
Yeah.
So like, who knows? So your firearms license expires every 5 years. So maybe it's a good idea when you renew, they send somebody out just to see how you're storing your firearms.
And it should be like
that's not
a random. It should be like a random time, like so you don't know they're coming.
Yeah,
because they don't want you to be ready, and they should have some sort of a warrant.
If you are ready, like. That's better than nothing.
Yeah, that would be better to at least...
Because right now it's nothing.
Because it would force you to get something if you didn't. You're like, crap, I'm getting the audit or whatever. They're coming to look, so I'm going to get everything. Yeah. Anyways. Well, so you're right. Maybe that is the way to do it.
I think that's not... And like every 5 years, like that's not bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there, though, that are like really like far right and they're... Yeah. Don't touch my guns.
Yeah, you're not allowed in my house.
Exactly.
Or I'll shoot you if you come into my house to try and look at my guns.
Yeah, and like if it's at that point, then you're probably one of those people that maybe shouldn't have one.
That shouldn't have one.
If you're that crazy.
Because I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be either we get some more restrictions, or we get rid of everything.
Yeah.
You know, like it should be like you're restricted a bit, or
it's not more restricted. Like, so one thing people don't like is registering your firearms, which I used to be like, why would you not want that? Yeah. Like, what are you afraid of? Yeah. But now after this ban, it's like they ban all these things. Now they know you have it.
Yeah. Now you're like, crap. I wish because now the government, is that the idea? The government knows.
Then they're gonna come and get them. Yeah. And it's not a fair law.
Okay, so
they're banning shotguns.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's not fair.
They're on the list. Shotguns.
Yeah. Yeah. And guns like specifically for hunting.
Well, our buddy's 22.
Yeah.
They've banned many 22s, but his 22 in particular, banning that one, that's stupid. Because it is literally, they took a 22 rifle, and I like comparing this to the paintball thing. Yeah. You can take a piece of crap paintball gun that doesn't work half the time, which is basically what this 22 is. It jams all the time. Yeah. And they took off the plastic pieces, and then they put on different plastic pieces. So you can buy a piece of crap paintball gun, hardly ever works, take off the plastic pieces, and put on other pieces that make it look cool. So now you look like a badass, but your gun is a piece of garbage.
Oh, yeah.
And that's literally what they did. So because it looks like an AR-15, it doesn't function, well, I mean, it's semi-automatic, so it functions that way in the same regard. Yeah. But it's like half semi-automatic because it jams all the time. But they've banned it because of that, because it looks the way it looks. And like it looks really... Like, it's got all these weird... Like, it's got fake buttons on it. Yeah. Because it doesn't need them, right? So it's got, like, the fake levers for different things. And they're fake. They're molded into the plastic. But yeah, so because they banned that one, they banned the 22 rifle itself that's inside of it. And it just looks like a regular 22 rifle. Like, you look at that, and it's like, why would you ban that? What is your reason for banning it? If you look at just that one, it's like, why did you ban this? And why is the one that's exactly the same of it, but a different model number, legal? Yeah.
I think it's because...
And that's why it's not about firearms.
The people putting... and the people putting the guns on the list...
Have no idea.
May have never even shot a gun before or held a gun.
Yeah, that's...
So they're looking...
That's the only way this would make any sense.
They might be looking at pictures of the guns... Yeah. They might be like...
Yeah, that's probably
just looking at the names of them. you know, and being like, it might be like some sort of list where just like what kind of bullets it holds or something, and then they're just jamming, because that coffee company,
Black Rifle.
yeah, there's a coffee company, Black Rifle Coffee Company,
yeah,
and they got put on the list.
yeah.
I don't know if it was like a computer program,
I think,
or somebody
they did,
just like dropping a whole bunch of names on the list, and then
I think they did at one point. Somebody made an AR-15 and then put the Black Rifle Coffee Co. on it.
maybe the Google image that they looked up
Probably.
said Black Rifle Company.
Yeah.
Or see, so it could be
Yeah.
anything. Like.
And then they banned AR15.com. It's a website.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they had a run of AR-15 rifles too.
Yeah.
But it's like somebody else made it and put their logo on it.
Okay.
And now it's called the Colt AR15.com AR-15 edition.
Yeah. But at this seeing again, I kind of understand it again. If you were wanting to ban all the guns,
Yeah.
there's so many guns, so you would just say, okay, put everything on the list, and then we'll go through it afterwards and take all the things that are obviously like not guns or ridiculous and shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah. But the weird thing is that most firearm shootings and everything in Canada, like illegal ones, it's all done with handguns. There isn't a single freaking handgun on that list.
Yeah.
So again, if it's about
it's the gun
firearm
of choice
safety and public safety, those should be on there, but it's not.
Yeah.
So it's not about firearm
just
safety.
a
It's not about
political
public
stunt.
safety. Yeah.
But it's
And then, so one thing they did is they did a poll a while back, and it said like 77 or not 77. It was a high percent. I can't remember, like 60%, something like that, of Canadians do not want these rifles available in Canada. They want them banned.
Yeah.
But the questions they asked, they said, "Do you want assault rifles available to Canadians?" And people were like, "No." It's like, okay. Those haven't been legal in Canada since 1977.
Yeah.
So they're already illegal.
Yeah.
So they polled people, but they asked the wrong question. So that poll should be thrown out.
Yeah.
They define an assault rifle as a rifle that can carry high capacity of rounds and can efficiently kill people. Well, a 22 can efficiently kill someone.
Yeah.
And high capacity rounds in Canada are illegal already.
Yeah.
On a restricted firearm, you're allowed to have 10 rounds. So in a handgun and an AR-15, you're allowed to have 10 bullets in it. That's it.
Yeah.
In a non-restricted,
and not only
5.
just allowed to have 10, but the clips available.
They have a big bolt or pin,
like
or
you
big
can't,
washers welded in the bottom.
Yeah, you can't put more than 10 bullets in it.
No,
right?
no, you can't. Like, you could modify it and break the law, and then you're a not legal firearms owner.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't fully agree with the magazine limit already, just because it's semi-automatic already.
Yeah.
And if you're using magazines and you practice lots, you can swap them out really quickly. So it doesn't really make sense to have the magazine limit.
Yeah, I guess so. I kind of agree with it.
Well, it's because, so legal firearm owner can practice lots and change magazines quick, right?
Yeah.
So he's really good at shooting a lot of bullets really quick.
Yeah.
A criminal is just going to drill the pin out. And now he's got a lot of bullets already. So, like, what's the point? He's already breaking the law. He's going to kill 23 people.
Yeah.
It's not going to, if he's going to go out and kill 23 people,
he's going to do it.
Using a drill is not beyond his capabilities either, you know?
Yeah. I think for the one thing anyways, it's usually like somebody who's going to do something like awful like that.
Yeah.
Is usually like, they're like super unstable.
Yeah.
So maybe they're not even, they're just thinking get a gun and shoot it. So maybe they're, in that sense,
I don't know.
like the capacity thing makes sense.
Not really, because then you're saying that he's not prepared. He was pretty prepared. He had a fake police uniform, or no, it was
Fake
a real.
police
It was a
car.
real police uniform.
Oh, police uniform, a police car.
He somehow got. He had a real police car with decals made up. You know, like he.
Yeah,
so if he went that
does
far,
have the
I'm pretty
capabilities.
sure it wouldn't have stopped him to drill out the magazine.
Yeah.
You know, and then carry more bullets.
Yeah, so maybe that's part of the argument of just ban all guns, but it's still just pretty extreme and
Yeah.
kind of
And
stomping
it's a
on.
huge industry.
Do you know what? I would be okay with that.
Like the amount of people you'd be putting out of work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, think
Yeah,
about
it's
that
huge.
too, right?
Do you
All
know
these
what,
people will be jobless.
I'm completely okay with banning all of these guns or prohibiting all these guns if they go through the democratic process. If they went through the regular
Yeah.
process and
It
the
wouldn't
majority
happen.
of see, it wouldn't happen. But
Yeah.
if the majority of Canadians like didn't want or wanted this to happen, wanted
Yeah.
the guns banned,
Yeah.
and then see, that's fine.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
a
what they
big part
should
of
do.
that too, though, is just people aren't educated. Like it goes back to that poll. They asked
Yeah.
people, "Do you want to ban assault rifles in Canada?"
Mhm.
And they were like, "Yes, no one should be allowed to have those."
And then they were like, okay,
It's like,
done.
okay, that's
It's
already done. It was done.
Yeah, so
in
what kind of question is
1977.
that?
It's a shitty question.
Yeah.
It was obviously
They just didn't know.
the person
or
who
they-
made the poll
they- it was
didn't
all-
know,
Yeah.
or it was all bullshit, or they were trying to come up with that result. And they wanted to use that. Maybe they
Yeah.
were paid. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like you could
Yeah.
twist this any way you
Anyway,
want.
yeah.
It's aliens, Wyatt. It's aliens.
Yeah, it was. So, anyways, it's like it's a super hard subject to talk about because when you talk about it, you kind of feel like, yeah, because like innocent people died and that's like horrible and everything. But
Yeah.
that's what makes these things so controversial and like hard to
Yeah.
talk about is because you're like trying to step over these like step through this minefield.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, you're like, because like, just think of the family members. They're like, they're like, absolutely ban the guns, and maybe the family members, if we were even heard us talking about this, they would just be like
appalled.
They would just be appalled. So,
Yeah.
but anyways,
I feel like a big part of it is education, though, because if you're banning an
Yeah,
AR-15, then you should ban every rifle, every
yeah, because the
semi-automatic
AR-15
rifle.
is like
It operates almost the exact same way as every semi-automatic rifle on the market.
yeah, it's like
Just has
it's
the
like a
bad
base
name.
model.
It's a platform.
Yeah, what does AR stand for? Is it
Armalite.
Armalite.
It's a brand name.
Okay.
It doesn't stand for assault
See,
rifle.
do you know what? In the end, in 10 years, there won't be such thing as an AR-15. There will be, but it'll just be called something different. It'll be
Well, they've
called-
already done that.
Oh, have they? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole shitload of different guns out there that look exactly like an AR-15,
Yeah.
and some of them you can go hunting with.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally like it's the classifications. So the things that change, like the differences between a non-restricted and a restricted, they have certain measurements and stuff
Yeah.
and certain calibers, but some of it is just the name. So if you look at an AR-15 objectively,
Yeah.
it's a non-restricted rifle.
Yeah. Oh, but just because the name.
But because it's an AR-15,
it's restricted.
it's
yeah.
restricted.
Yeah.
But if
it's
you
a
look at it
controversial gun.
objectively,
It's,
you can build an AR-15 that
That's
is as
completely-
long as this table
yeah.
and shoots 22 bullets.
Yeah.
So
22 bullets?
22. It's like
22
22
rounds.
caliber.
Yeah, 22 caliber.
It could be a single shot bolt action.
Yeah.
AR-15, as long as this table
Yeah.
that shoots
Yeah.
22 bullets.
Yeah, so like the AR-15 is just like a building block, basic thing
Yeah.
that you build any
You build
type
it
of gun
however you want it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can build an AR-15. They make barrels that you're allowed to have in Canada that you aren't allowed to have in America
Really?
that are 4 inches long.
And you're allowed to have that here?
You're allowed to have that
You're not
here,
allowed to have that
and you're
in-
not
in
allowed.
America.
That's the one thing we get.
What about in like Texas?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Nowhere in the United States.
Nowhere in America, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that we get
That's
that they
crazy.
don't get. But there, you're allowed to have an 18-inch one with a 170 round
Yeah,
box mag,
yeah,
and it's
that
fully
you can-
automatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Which
up
is
here,
crazy.
up here, you can have it. Your whole gun can be this big,
Yeah.
and it can shoot 10 bullets,
Wow.
and
Here.
then you have to reload. Yeah,
Wow.
and you have to shoot it at a range. In America, you can shoot it wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Okay. So how much time we're at? So anyways, yeah, I also wanted you to show off one of your guns too.
SKS.
Is SKS your favorite gun? What's your favorite gun?
Yeah, I think it's my favorite. So it shoots this bullet.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh God. It is a 7.62 by 39. So 7.62 refers to the bore diameter.
Yeah.
39 refers to the height.
Is it the height of the entire bullet with the shell, or just the height of the bullet at the end of the shell?
You know, I don't know. It's not the bullet. It's either the casing or the overall.
Okay.
So like it's a Russian rifle.
Yeah.
And they use this bullet in many different rifles. So they have 7.62 by 39, 7.62 by 54, and 7.62 by 25, which is handguns.
Okay.
So same bullet,
just a
different casing.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the same bullet that is used in the AK-47.
Yeah.
But they have it in this rifle, which is a SKS, which was made in...
And just so it's not loaded.
It's not loaded.
Has a trigger lock on it.
Well, I'm going to take that off. Because you're allowed.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. But yeah, we'll reach, clear it. So there's nothing in there. Put my finger in there. No bullet. Totally safe.
So what was this? When was this gun made?
This gun was originally manufactured in 1949.
So that specific gun in 49, and like when did they start making
this one
the SKS?
specific was no, that's when they first started making the SKS.
Oh, okay.
So this one's a 1950, so it's a little special.
Ooh.
It's an early model. They still milled the receivers by hand. They didn't cast it.
Yeah.
Not by hand, but they milled it out with machines.
Oh, cool.
Later models, they casted it, so it was a little rougher.
Yeah.
You know, the spec was a little, like this rocks a little bit on the older ones.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it looks like an AK, but no part of an AK will fit on this rifle.
Oh, really?
The same as no part of this rifle will fit on an AK-47.
Okay.
Like,
They're
even
all
the
just
bolt
slightly
is
different?
different. So this bolt, the way it locks in is it goes forward and then drops down and sits in a wedge so it can't come back. In an AK-47, there's like these two knuckles that go in and turns and locks in.
Okay.
So it's totally different. The things that are the same is that when the bullet goes up, oh god, the bullet gets fired, goes up, and then once it gets past this point, the gas comes back. And there's literally just a rod and a spring in here that hits out here and just goes bing and pushes it back.
What's that called again? Gas. So it's a gas.
It's gas recoil.
Gas recoil.
Yeah.
And
Gas
then
semi-automatic. Or
what other types are there for doing that?
there's I think there's just regular blowback, so it just uses once it shoots, it uses that pressure to pull back, and then there's spring, and then there's your manual actions, which is like bolt lever,
cool,
and then like double action revolver.
So it's the pressure from the bullet going down the gas.
So once the bullet passes here, all the gas is still locked in here.
Yeah.
So once it gets past here, there's a little hole there, and it bypasses and blows all through back here. There's a piston in here, and then a big rod, and it just fucking nails that and pushes this back.
Okay.
Pounds that backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really cool. It's a historic rifle, and this one isn't on any lists yet.
Yeah.
They're trying to put it on
that
a
one's
list.
not on a list?
No, it is not.
If you would have made me guess which one.
This would definitely be on there, right?
Has a bayonet on it.
This one was literally manufactured and designed to kill humans in a war.
Yeah.
That's why there's a bayonet on the end of
Yeah.
it. But this one isn't on any lists or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the AR-15 is, and the AR-15 was manufactured and produced as a target shooting rifle and is not used in any military anywhere.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's really bad military.
Yeah. The thing that shocked me the most when we were... Was it that one that we were shooting at the cabin?
Yeah, I think we shot this one at the cabin.
So the thing that... Yeah, I was shocked because we were shooting at a tree.
Yeah.
And the tree was like this thick. Or maybe thicker. It was like this thick.
Yeah.
And the bullets were going straight through.
Straight through it.
I didn't know that was possible unless you had like a big heavy machine gun.
No, full metal jacket. So there's lead in here, and it's encased in metal, so it's fully covered in metal.
Oh, and that's why
it gives it the.
It's like
that's why it looks bronze.
It's the same as the shell. Like
yeah,
it looks the same as the casing.
Yeah, so if it was lead, it would look gray.
And most bullets are just full lead. Most
are full lead. Yeah,
okay.
It's for hunting and stuff. I think it's like better stopping power or something. This is designed. So this is the weird part of war, building guns. So this is why like America uses a 5.56 round. It's smaller than that.
Yeah.
It's meant to go through you and injure you. It's not meant to kill you.
Yeah.
Because an injured soldier takes way more resources.
Yeah, I remember.
Than a dead soldier. That's
wow,
fucked up.
Crazy. That's crazy. That is fucked up. That's super
like, no, we don't
up.
want to kill people. We just want them really hurt.
Yeah, because if you injure a guy on the battlefield,
that's you gotta rescue him.
Yeah, you have to rescue him.
You gotta take care of him.
Guys.
It puts economic stress on
10
that
guys.
country's
They might have
system.
to get a helicopter. They might have to get a Humvee or a truck.
And then you got to pay for all that stuff too.
They have
right?
to pay, so they're trying to hurt their
and long-term
economy.
care, even like it's all
That's crazy.
That's nuts. So these bullets are manufactured to
That's
not kill people, but to hurt them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then if you look here,
so this one's meant to kill somebody, not injure them.
That's meant to injure. It's just a bigger bullet.
So probably all war bullets are probably made to, unless it's like a bomb.
Unless it's a bomb, yeah.
Something.
So this, you can see here, this big frickin' plug here.
Yeah.
That's to stop you from putting more than 5 rounds in this rifle.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's like welded in there. But if you got on there with a pair of pliers, you could break that off pretty easy. But if you're a legal gun owner, you don't do that.
Yeah, because that's super legal.
Exactly.
So
you can go to jail for that.
So if you do that,
yeah,
and they find out somehow,
yeah,
how long would you go to jail for that?
I'm not sure. I just know like when you get your license, they make it pretty clear that do not do that. Yeah. You could go to jail.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that plug right there.
Okay.
So that stops the bullets from...
Yeah.
Because originally this rifle carries 10 rounds.
Okay.
But the funny thing is they make a magwell adapter for this. So you take this off, and you bolt on this other thing, and then you can take magazines. And those magazines can fit in an AR-15. And an AR-15 is restricted. Because it's restricted, you're allowed to have 10 rounds in a restricted rifle. So you could use that magazine and put it in this rifle.
Legally?
Legally.
So you could shoot 10 rounds?
I could shoot 10 rounds out of this. Legally. But that magwell adapter costs more than I paid for the rifle.
Okay. See, that's the crazy thing is there's so many nuances in each gun and everything that it would take 100 years to like...
Well, what you'd have to do is you just have to look at everything objectively.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, does this have to do with safety?
Yeah.
Or is it just bad optics?
Yeah.
And if it's bad optics, it's not about safety.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be illegal.
Forget about it. But politicians can't do that because they need votes.
Exactly, yeah. But no, I really like this rifle just because it's a historic piece. This one was made in 1950. One of the biggest issues with these is they had their firing pin within the bolt.
Yeah.
On most of them is a free-floating pin.
Yeah.
Which means like you have to be very careful because if it's not free-floating and it gets stuck in the forward position, if you pull the trigger, it'll just keep shooting until you're out of bullets. Because it'll cycle, and because the pin's already out, the second it gets to the bullet, it shoots. And then
since it's gas-powered,
just keeps going.
How fast would it shoot?
Fast, like real fast. Like 5 seconds, it'll empty the rounds.
5 seconds?
Yeah, 5 seconds, it'll shoot all 5 bullets. just like that.
Jesus. So
Like an
1
AK.
second. So it would be like 1 second.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
closer to one or
Yeah.
2 seconds. It's real fast.
Good God. See, for me, that's a good enough reason to like have the capacity at only 5. Even maybe just for an
Yeah.
SK or a gun that might accidentally
Could do that.
'Cause
Yeah.
If you're like
If you had like 25 round
25
magazine in
rounds,
there,
just,
yeah. Yeah. So this one.
That's like when I was like trying to put sriracha on my rice the other day, and it like made a siphon out of the end of the sriracha, and it was just like shooting out of the end. I was just like, ah! I imagine it would be a bit like that.
Yeah. Gun
Just
to
as dangerous.
sriracha. Just as dangerous, yeah. So this one, so normally this is your firing pin. This is the part where when your hammer hits it, bing, it hits right there. Bing. And then you can see in the end there. So when you push that, look in the end there.
Okay, and then
So
that
that's what hits
hits
this
the
primer
end.
on there,
the primer.
and that's what sets it off.
So,
You'd have to hit it really hard.
oh, so like I probably couldn't even push it with my hands.
You'd
hard
have to use a
enough.
hammer. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my fingers are already black.
Greasy. So yeah, on this one, as you can feel,
Yeah.
it comes back, right? Spring loaded.
Oh, so free floating one.
Free
won't?
floating one won't. It'll just flop around, which is fine. It's supposed to just flop around. The scary part is if it doesn't
Oh, if
float
it
around
gets
and it gets
jammed,
stuck
Stuck.
from rust or whatever.
Okay.
So in 1950 and 1951, about half of the year, they made these spring loaded. But to cut on manufacturing time and cost, they made them free floating afterwards.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a cool part of this rifle, is that it has this spring loaded part.
So how long did they make the SKS?
1950 till like the 90s.
And then so out of all of those SKSs,
Yeah.
only for 1.5 year they made the spring
year
loaded.
and a half, and then I think
Oh, for a
later
year and a
on,
half.
later on they made
Like
like you can buy kits now to
Yeah.
put in your old rifle
Yeah.
and make it spring loaded.
Oh, okay.
And I think maybe in the later ones they might have started doing the spring loaded thing. But yeah, it was uncommon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's neat. It's a neat piece of history, you know. It's an early rifle.
And so when did you say they started manufacturing the SKS?
First manufacturing started in, I think you can find some that were done in 49.
Okay, so
think.
they weren't in World War II.
No.
No, so they would have been in like,
They were in the, like, every war after that.
yeah, any war.
Because the
after.
Chinese were pumping them out like crazy. Yugoslavians, Czechoslovakians, like, they started pumping, everybody was making
like,
these.
yeah, Korea, Vietnam,
Everyone was making these,
Afghanistan.
yeah. Some
the first
armies still,
Afghan
you
war.
can look up some guys, they still use these in, like, parade and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, even the SVT-40, it was made in 1940 that
Yeah.
I have. Some armies still use that, and just for parade, I'm pretty sure. Just because they're a cool-looking rifle.
Yeah.
But it's wild, so lots of guys with this new ban,
Yep.
they're taking it out of the wood stock, putting it in a plastic stock. It's got the full rail systems. You can put a foregrip, flashlight, laser, scope,
Yeah.
red dot, magnifier, all that crazy stuff
Yeah.
on this one, and go hunting with it.
Do any military
Use
use an
this?
SKS?
I don't know if
Like
they
a modern SKS or something?
No, I don't think so.
That'd be interesting to know. Like maybe even like North Korea or something.
like
or
there
something
are
like
still
that.
armies that use it, at least in parade.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's their main battle rifle. But I mean, it's like this one was designed like right from like they were like, we're gonna make a gun,
Yeah.
like pencil to paper. Main objective was shooting humans.
Yeah.
You can go hunting with this.
Yeah.
You can take this out.
Yeah.
You can hang it in the back window of your truck.
Mm-hmm.
Totally legal.
Yeah.
But AR-15,
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And these are
See,
cheap.
when you
These
talk
are
like
relatively
that,
cheap. I know.
that's when
I'm
you
not
kinda lose
selling
me.
it.
That's
Yeah.
when you kind of lose me on why
On
you
the
should even have
bands.
that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fun to shoot.
Yeah, like,
That's literally
yeah,
the only
yeah,
reason.
Yeah. See, because
It's
whether
fun to
the
shoot.
gun was made for killing people or not,
It can kill people.
it can kill. Whether
A 22
'cause a
can kill
hunting rifle
people.
can kill somebody,
So that's the crazy thing. So on every so like this,
But a 22
5
would
bullets.
be as good at killing people.
I don't know if it would be as good.
Like a 22 isn't as good because
Well,
most of them
you
are
could
bolt
argue it
action.
is. No, there's
No.
a lot of semi-automatic.
Yeah.
But so this, you've shot this, right?
Yeah.
You need earplugs for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely need
Yeah.
earplugs for this.
Yeah.
Once you shoot, it's like a big event, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
rifle kicks you in the shoulder. You know, you blink a few times. You're not supposed
Yeah.
to,
So
but
I guess
you
it
do.
is an
22.
old gun.
22 is like a BB gun.
Mhm.
So like this thing you shoot, you gotta, if you want to shoot again right after, you gotta take a sec, aim back at your target. 22 is like a BB gun. You can sit there, no earplugs, nothing,
Yeah.
no safety glasses, aim at your target, pull the trigger, rifle doesn't move,
Yeah.
bullet went down range,
Yeah.
pull the trigger again.
Yeah.
It's semi-automatic. You can pull as fast as you want
Yeah. Yeah.
and hit the
Yeah.
same spot.
Also does a lot less damage though.
A lot less
Like
damage.
I would still
It's
rather
still a lot less damage.
I'd still rather be
shot at with the
downrange
22.
to the 22
Yeah.
than that thing.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
if you have to pick.
Because you can't
Yeah.
even hide behind a wall. A lot of walls with that one.
Yeah, that's
Just-
true.
Just the power from it. But yeah, since it's like such an old gun,
Yeah.
you're like probably less accurate, would you say?
A lot of people say that SKSs are dog shit.
Yeah, less accurate.
This is one of my
kicks
more
you in the shoulder.
one
and
of my
stuff,
more
and, like,
accurate guns.
and less reliable. Like you said, the things are like rusting
Oh
inside
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah. If you take care of it, that's the thing, right? Like if you're a legal gun owner, you take care of your shit.
Yeah, you're taking care of your gun and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somebody who's taking the time to like clean their SKS and stuff like that usually aren't the same guy who's like
Ready to
yeah,
rob a
like you got your
convenience store.
license. You're, like you're responsible enough to be like cleaning your gun all the time and like
Yeah.
doing all that stuff.
And your name is run every day
Yeah.
against like the criminal background check. You get one done every day as a firearms owner.
So what would happen if you if you committed is there like if you had a criminal record you couldn't own a gun?
No.
If you committed a crime today,
Yeah. They'd come and
what
get him.
happens?
They'd come and get him.
They come get him tomorrow? They come get him
I'm not sure. However long it takes for your name to get in the system and
Yeah.
then the system to read it, they give you a call, say, hey, you have firearms, you've got a criminal charge.
yeah. And then
This can't
depending
be.
on the crime.
And then they revoke your license
Yeah.
so you can't get more.
Okay, so or yeah, I guess if you committed a crime, you'd be like in jail already or in custody, and then they would
Well, I
go to
don't
your
know.
house or something.
You
But
know,
just
there's-
hypothetically
Yeah.
speaking, like if you all of a sudden had a criminal record,
Yeah.
they would be like, "This guy has guns, and we'll take
We go
him."
get him.
See, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the way it's
That's
supposed
like
to be.
huge peace of mind
Yeah, yeah.
that nobody in Canada
Yeah.
who has a criminal record legally has a gun.
Yeah.
And if they do,
If they got
they're
it
on the way.
illegally.
They're on the way to go get them and take them away, or they
Yeah.
got them illegally,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
which is the case.
Yeah, usually
People who-
that's the
who do
case.
Things
Yeah.
like that.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like there are some things that need to maybe change.
Yeah.
Like maybe check your storage every 5 years.
Yeah.
And just check it. That's it.
Mhm.
Don't fucking write anything down. Just look, verify everything's clear. Say
Yeah, it'd be a
Cole
check mark.
passes. Yeah.
Yeah, Cole passed.
It doesn't say like
the
Cole
check.
has this gun, this gun, this gun,
Yeah,
this gun,
yeah.
this gun. It just says
Yeah.
Cole has guns.
Passed
They
the
are
test.
safely stored.
Yeah, check
Yeah.
mark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so they have the trigger locks on them.
That's it.
They're inside of a safe.
Nope.
Or just trigger locks.
Non-restricted.
The gun is locked up.
Non-restricted. Just trigger lock
Yeah.
or locked in a closet.
Oh, really?
Not both.
Oh, okay. So they can. So you could just have a closet
I could just put this on the hook, on a hook on the wall,
and
with
it's
the
locked
trigger lock
into
on it.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
As long as you can't, somebody can't just walk in here.
Take it and
And
start
shoot it.
shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your ammo has to be stored separately.
Does the ammo have to be locked up too, or just somewhere else?
I think it just has to be somewhere else. I have to look into that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, you should.
Because I have
do
a
that.
box. I just might have to put a lock on it.
Yeah. So if you
I
could,
even have a lock. Yeah.
if you could change one thing, is that what it would be? If you could add something into the laws for gun laws.
I would say you have to look at every rifle objectively
Yeah.
to like.
Would you add a law? Like, because I'm asking if you had to add a law. What
If I
would
had
it
to
be?
add a law?
Would you? But let's say you
Yeah,
didn't
no, I would
have
do
to
the-
add
I
a
would-
law. Would you say, well, I don't think we need any more restrictions, or would you say,
I think
would
the
you say?
storage thing would be a good one.
yeah,
Because that eliminates legal gun owners losing their firearms in Canada.
yeah,
Because it's not a huge problem, but it is a problem.
yeah,
And if that helps, keeping guns out of the hands of criminals, then
yeah?
yeah, I'm for it.
So maybe since it already is hard for criminals to get a hold of guns, is it? So I don't know.
I don't know.
So maybe
Go try and get one.
maybe the way to like go about this would be to a whole bunch of legal gun owners get together.
Yeah.
They build the petition or whatever, but then they also
Yeah.
part of the petition is like a write up of a plan that maybe people who are educated on guns would say, like what you said. Maybe
Yeah.
we should have like every
Every 5 years.
every 5 years.
Every time you're licensed, you have to
so in the
renew your
petition, it
license.
should be, we don't want all these guns prohibited and banned or whatever, but maybe think about adding these things that would really help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah. I got to
Well,
get going
Cool.
though.
Awesome. Right on.
And we didn't even mention
The coronavirus. I was so happy. Like, halfway through, I was like, holy shit, we haven't mentioned the coronavirus at all. Okay, let's leave it at that. Okay. Adios.